Hi everyone, Al the Psych here. I'm going to continue on what I was talking about regarding this book, Hitler's Psychopathology, and I think I ended where I was going to get into the diagnosis that's mentioned here. This is a book from 1983, just to remind you. And I'm just going to read, basically. So here we go. Careful study of the now abundant biographical data leads to the conclusion that Adolf Hitler was a narcissistic personality with paranoid features, functioning on a borderline personality level, hereafter more briefly referred to as a narcissistic borderline personality or narcissistic borderline personality disorder. A little bit different, back then as compared to today in terms of DSM categories. In 1918, Hitler doubtless showed features that would today be subsumed under this diagnosis when he was treated for gas poisoning in an army hospital. There was the diagnosis psychopath with hysterical symptoms is said to have been made. It was, however, long concealed by the disappearance of Hitler's army records. The old designation psychopath was used for patients in whom almost complete absence of conscience is a major feature. Patients who are now often considered among the borderline personalities, although DSM-5 does have antisocial personality disorder. Anyway, let's go on. The two main components of the present narcissistic borderline personality diagnosis can be described separately. And Otto Kernberg, in two early studies and subsequent studies, was one of the authors who in recent years contributed notably to their understanding. And then he goes on to reference other authors as well. Now, the narcissistic personality. The concept of excessive narcissism is now much discussed in both technical and popular discourse. Degrees of narcissistic investment range from a healthful self-esteem to the extreme self-preoccupation of the schizophrenic, who constantly fantasizes about himself. The narcissistic personality is a disorder in which there are both conflicting feelings about the person's worth and specific severe difficulties in relations with other human beings. Yet such an individual is often someone whose life outwardly appears to be a successful one, even one of achievement or celebrity. Okay. Although the narcissistic personality openly reveals his megalomania, his needs to be admired, praised, and flattered are marked. Okay. Great ambition often accompanies his grand fantasies, driving him to strive for preeminence in wealth, wisdom, beauty, leadership, power, or whatever. Okay. He is aware of feeling shame and embarrassment. He complains of a feeling of emptiness. He has little, if any, sense of humor. He tends to lie. Even if very intelligent, he can be most literal in understanding of concepts. He often has neurotic symptoms. More importantly, the narcissistic personality cannot make significant relationships, being at most times arrogant, contemptuous, and denigrating, as well as demanding and exploitative. Blows to his self-esteem often elicit violent anger. Frequently, he reveals paranoid distrust. Let me go down a little bit more. With so much of his psychic energy devoted to himself, the narcissistic personality has little understanding of complex feelings in others. He has little empathy for them or even interest. His emotional life is shallow, and his feelings are undifferentiated in quality. He may find these aspects of himself to be a deprivation, something to complain about. Although often seen to be engaging and charming, he usually makes the effort to be perceived in this way for an ulterior purpose, such as to manipulate others. Behind the benign appearance is usually a cold, ruthless determination to gratify aggressive drives. Okay, interesting stuff here. There's more information here. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. I'll include this in this video. All right. He exhibits his body, clothes, aggressiveness, and masculinity. Now we're talking about a male here. One way to demonstrate his idea of masculine fearlessness is by reckless acts. The narcissistic personality usually takes risks, expecting to be magically saved by a powerful, miraculous fate and to emerge unscathed. The showing off and boastful self-praise, emphasizing virile qualities, often occur before women whose admiration is sought. But the narcissistic man has contradictory attitudes toward women. Whereas he usually speaks of them in derogatory and contemptuous terms, he often poses as the defender of motherhood and the sanctity of womanhood because he wants to appear wise, heroic, benign, or commanding. The grand boasts and lofty behavior of the narcissistic personality make him appear self-confident and secure. But his inflated self-esteem and fantasies of omnipotence alternate with feelings of abject shame, insecurity, and inferiority. Indeed, these sharp differences in self-concept are often the first indication to the psychiatrist or mental health worker of the patient's condition. Fantasies of embarrassment, humiliation, and shame are particularly prominent in narcissistic personalities with paranoid trends. And again, that last part supposedly was talking about men. Believe me, women can definitely fit the criteria here too in terms of grandiosity, things along that line. And okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. There's a lot more in the book. I'll kind of go through it and see if I'm going to add any more information from it on other videos. And that's it for now. Thanks.